Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. I'm pretty excited about this piece. I've been doing a lot of thinking about it through last year and coming into this year, and especially going through the business planning models and speaking to either the higher producing loan officers or managers that I frequently talk to. And we have these conversations about what the marketplace looks like and how business is moving forward and where the challenges lie. And one of the things that I've learned in this business, is the fact that when it comes to the mortgage industry and real estate, pretty much as well, there's only two reasons that people don't succeed, and that's either they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, or they won't do what they're supposed to be doing. And that really comes to it in a nutshell. And it's why most of my clients come to me, is for that first part, is they're not exactly sure. They don't know what they should be doing to generate the opportunities that are necessary to reach the income levels or the targets, the production levels they'd like to reach. And when we have these conversations, or when managers have conversations with their production teams, you do what you can to lay things out in front of them. And sometimes it's too generic. The person that you're talking to isn't going to be able to, or is not in a position or comfortable doing the things that you put out there in front of them, or they don't exactly know how to break it all down and put it into pieces so that they can move forward. And so that can become frustrating for the manager, who has lots of people to supervise and other day-to-day issues, as well as the originator or the person that's in the production piece of this, because they don't know what to do. Now, there are cases where, and I've seen it plenty of times, and in fact, more times than not, people who come into my program, in the programs, to be honest with you, of a lot of the other coaches that I speak to, they don't succeed not because the process didn't work or the program didn't work. It's because the person themselves didn't do the work. And I tell the people that I come in contact with, especially the corporate people who want to invest in these programs, and I tell them, I said, look, it's really very simple. We can show them what to do and we can help them do it, but they're the ones that are going to have to do the work. And at least at the very minimum is, we're going to find out pretty quickly whether this person will do the second half of the project. Are they willing to do the work necessary to succeed? And so the next part of that conversation goes into the cost. It's what if I come into your program and I do what you tell me to do and it doesn't work? And my response to that always is, what if you don't come into the program and it does? There has never been a time in the 20 plus years I've been an independent club coach, and almost 40 years in the business, where the steps and the processes and the things that are put forward, when implemented, will absolutely work. It's never not worked. And I've done this long enough to know that regardless, you could put a room full of people in there, and if there are 30 people that are put into the room and they're all very excited about, well, I'm going to go attend this program because I'm going to get better, that within a few days of that program, being over, all the notes, all the things that they were going to do, everything disappears because life happened and they didn't execute. It's like people who go to the gym in the beginning of the year. Welcome to January, right? The last couple of weeks, if you tried to get near a gym, you couldn't find a parking spot. A month from now, you can park right up front. Right now, you try to go into a gym and the exercise equipment and whatever, you may have to wait to use a piece of equipment. A month from now, you can use any piece of equipment you want, anytime you want. Why? Because people don't carry through, which is why my program deals with weekly follow-ups. But the biggest barrier of this has always been the money. Do I, am I going to invest $5,000 into a 6-month program and then potentially $600, $700, $800 a month after that to grow my business? And what if I make that investment and it doesn't work? And we can all sit here and say, well, it does work if you do the work. And the only barrier to your success is you. And you can say that, but people don't necessarily buy into it. So I came to the conclusion that I was going to prove once and for all that the biggest barrier, which is the money, we could remove from the issue if people will just invest in themselves and say, here's what we're going to do. You can send me an email, we can arrange a conversation, we can have a talk, and we can figure out whether or not we are compatible to move forward, because I am not everybody's you know, top choice, because this is not the warm and fuzzy kumbaya, sit around the campfire naked and sing type of coaching program. This is, you know, blocking and tackling, fundamentals, business planning, scheduling. We're going to treat it like a real business, and you're actually going to have to do some work and be held accountable to that. And some people, and most people, are willing to go through that, certainly. And so what I have decided to do is say, look, here we're going to remove the barrier of entry. It's not going to cost you a nickel to enter the program. If we agree to try to work together, we will give you access to the website. We'll set up your weekly coaching calls, just like everybody else in the program. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to establish your baseline of production, total number of units that you're doing, total dollar amount. We're going to come to your monthly average and say, you average this many units and this many dollar amount, and the target is to exceed that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to work together weekly, like I do every one of my other clients, holding you accountable, working on the schedule, making the adjustments. And here's the caveat. At the end of the month, we're going to take a look. If you exceeded your baseline, then you owe me 10 basis points on that production. You didn't exceed that baseline, you don't owe anything. It's very simple. At the end of the day, this is about, if this is really going to work, then I've got nothing to lose, because I'll make far more money grabbing 10 basis points on your improved production than I will just charging you the flat fee. That's without a doubt. The other point to the coin is we'll find out very quickly, at least I will, whether or not you're going to do the work. And if you're not going to do the work, if you're not willing to be held accountable, I'm going to fire you from the program and we will walk away. I will have made an investment of my time and energy under the belief that 1 out of every 3 people who come into the program are going to exceed their wildest dreams as far as what their performance goes. Another third of the people are going to improve slightly, which is fine. And a third of the people I'm probably going to fire in the first 90 days. So you know what? In the long run, I win. Now, the only thing you have to do is remember is coaching isn't the same for everybody. I have some people come in and in 6 months, they've got everything worked out and they're moving right along. I've got other people who come into the program and have been with me for 20 years. I've got some people that I work with who come in for 6 months or a year. They depart for a year or two, they come back, and it's a revolving door. Every time the business changes or their life changes, they come back to me, we rework it out, we move forward. It's fine. So here's the deal. The money is no longer the barrier for your performance. You just have to understand that my belief is so strong in the program that if you're willing to commit to doing the work, I'm willing to help you. And it's a very small commitment on your part of time and energy, because if you're going to make this call and if you don't have the cash up front to do this, you've got nothing to lose. And if you do the work and you do perform, it's a drop in the bucket. 10 basis points a deal is not a whole hell of a lot of work. And the only thing that we do is that once you leave the program, we both agree that you've gotten as far as, you know, as much out of it as you're going to now, or you feel you don't need the accountability any longer, the clock starts running. And for the next 12 months, you continue to pay those 10 basis points on the production over that baseline that we established when we first started. That's really all there is to it. So you come into the program, we have a conversation, we figure out whether we're compatible, we set forward on the plan, we do the calls. It either gets better for you or it doesn't. If it doesn't get better for you, you pay nothing. If it does get better for you, you pay a very small price for having that accomplishment. So again, if you're interested in the program, you're an individual loan officer, you have a team, you're a manager, you own a company, you need some help. Again, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, because I know the program works, and so do the people that have been using this process for years to far exceed and outperform the market. It's Mike at IMT Coaching. If you have any questions or comments, reach out. It's the fastest way to get to me is send me that email. I promise I'll follow up with you within one business day, and we can set an appointment to have a conversation and either move forward together or not if it's not going to be something that's going to work out for you. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Talk to you again real soon. Take care.